I am really excited for this video in this series on reality transurfing. This one is going to be about the heart and the mind, and now we have covered a lot of the core concepts. We're really going to get into some practical, super practical little exercises you can do to get tapped into your heart and your inner intention and your deepest desires. So after watching the previous videos in this series, you should have a good idea of what the heart is and what the mind is within the context of reality transurfing. And yeah, I just checked up on my notes. My notes on this are spot on, so we're going to go piece by piece. Every note I took, we're talking about here. So the heart and the mind, quick refresher. Like I said, your deepest intentions, your deepest desires. Your heart feels into them. Your heart knows what you want at a core level. And your mind, sometimes your mind gets distracted by these collective thought patterns and it thinks it wants something else. Your heart is the source of your most powerful intentions, and reality transurfing is all about tapping into your heart, aligning your heart with your mind and with consciousness itself. So, getting into it, and yeah, the mind is just the mind. You know what the mind is. But yeah, the heart does not speak or think. It feels and knows. The heart feels and knows. The mind speaks and thinks. Any affirmation or visualization practice you do, therefore, must be with emotion. Affirmations are useless if it's just repeating things in your mind. Affirmations are tools that you use to tap into your heart, to tap into emotions. So let's say I visualize something I want in my life. Okay, I'm visualizing it so that I can bring up the feelings that my heart wants. And as you do visualization, and this is something not even in the book, but something that I heard from someone else actually. As you do visualization, you should get to the point. You're basically learning to tap into your deepest desires. It should get to the point where you can't even channel the level of energy and motivation you get when you do your visualization. Your visualization should be overwhelmingly powerful. Your visualization should make you manically crazy. Your visualization should have you coursing with energy. So when you have a visualization practice where you are able to successfully train yourself to tap into your deepest desires, to imagine those things, to feel the emotions of already having those things, it should be incredibly powerful. It's not in the morning and waking up, money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Affirmation, reprogramming your mind. No, you are tapping into these deep desires. So your visualization practice, see what works. Just by doing it every day, you'll see what works. And you'll explore what really gets you going, what really triggers you, what really makes you think like, whoa, that's powerful. That's something my heart wants. I feel it. So if you have to talk yourself into something, it means the heart is saying no. If I'm like, I want to become a doctor, and this isn't me, but let's say I want to become a doctor. That's what I want. I'm doing reality transurfing so I can successfully become a doctor. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, you help people. You're a doctor. It's like, you really get good at something, you know? You make a good amount of money being a doctor. Yeah, you really get to help people. You know, I think medicine and science are cool. Do you hear? It's like I'm kind of expressing it with my tone, but if you have to talk yourself into something, it's not what your heart wants. And now on the flip side of this is another great exercise, a great tell. If you visualize for a second this thing that I'm trying to get out of life, okay, what if I don't get it? What if I don't, let's just say, what if I don't become a doctor? You know what? If you feel any sense of relief when that happens, if you think about not getting the thing you want and you feel a sense of relief, that means that there's a part of you, there's a pendulum, there's a mental thought pattern that's trying to get you to want that thing, but your heart doesn't want it. If you don't feel a sense of your relief, you're like, no, that's what I want. That is what I want. Then that's a telltale sign that your heart wants it. So visualize not getting the thing, and imagine what would you, like, let's say, if I don't become a doctor, I don't have to go to medical school for 4 years. If that gives you a sense, really go through all the things you don't have to do now, all the things, ways your life could be different. If that gives you a sense of relief, that's a sign it's not what your heart wants. If your heart really wants to become a doctor, and I don't know why I'm using this example, if your heart really wanted that, you're not going to feel a sense of relief when you imagine not having it. Signs and omens. Signs and omens and synchronicities exist so far as you give meaning to them. The mind, the heart, your inner self creates the meaning and creates the signs and omens and whatever. There's no like, I mean, there are some systems out there, but in reality transurfing, the idea is that it's not that number 3 means that. It's whatever meaning you attribute to something. And maybe that meaning is something you read in a book about astrology. That's the meaning you attribute to it, and then it happens and it has that meaning. That's valid too. But whatever meaning you attach to an omen, to a sign, that is your heart communicating with your mind. Omens and signs are one way that the heart communicates with the mind. So that's super important. And the feelings that these signs and omens evoke allow our heart to communicate with our mind. So omen, pay attention to the feeling you get. If you get something that feels like an omen, a sign, or a synchronicity, what is the feeling that your heart is allowing itself to express by triggering the mind? The heart will feel a deep inner discomfort when something is not right. On the other hand, a lot of us are very out of touch with our heart. So a lot of these previous things we talked about are going to tell you how to get in touch with your heart. And the more in touch with it you are, the more you'll feel that deep inner discomfort when something is not right. The heart speaks the language of your deepest inner desires. If you convince yourself you need a bridge like money to get something that you want, you are tapping yourself out of all the power, giving all your power to that pendulum of money, and cutting yourself off from that deep inspiration, that deep heart-powered intention. So cut off the bridges and focus on what your heart wants. Stop letting your mind convince you that you need something to get another thing, and focus on what your heart wants. The heart is a medium. The heart is the passageway through which different sectors of the alternative space show themselves to your mind. Through the heart, different realities show themselves to your mind. Through the heart, consciousness shows you different realities, different sectors of the alternative space to your mind. If you haven't watched the rest of the series, that might not make sense. Go watch it now. The heart and mind are easily, and this is really key, the heart and mind are easily united against a negative experience. Why is that? And this is going to be an example that gives you a lot more of an understanding about what this means. If I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my leg, my mind, I don't want to lose my leg. My heart, fear, I don't want to lose my leg. Alignment. If I want to run a marathon, heart can be like, I would love to run a marathon, but a lot of the time, what's going to happen is the heart's like, I'm afraid I won't be able to run a marathon. So, because fear is so powerful, it is a lot more common that the heart and the mind will align against something negative, and less common that the heart and the mind will align towards something positive. When the heart and the mind are aligned, that's how something is brought into reality. That's the core of reality. Everything's the core of reality transurfing. But so that's why it can be a lot easier to attract negative things into your life, and a lot harder. You kind of have to learn how to align the heart and the mind towards something positive. You have to get over your limiting beliefs in order to do that. The heart can only feel outer intention. Check out the last video. The mind can feel inner intention. The heart only gets triggered by outer intention. The heart does not get triggered by your small egoic intentions. So, the mind will establish that it is searching for what will bring it joy. It's like, I want something to bring me happiness. Whereas the heart feels into it. The heart feels into those emotions of happiness. The heart feels into the emotions that it wants on the other side of those things and feels those emotions now. Life experience, exploring your interests, will give your heart more to work with. So just visualization is not enough. Going out and experiencing life is going to give your heart a lot more reference experiences. So if you're younger, I'm younger and I've tried a lot of different things just to give myself a lot of different reference experiences so my heart has more to work with. And a lot of this is like peeling back layers to an onion, just like Shrek. You might need some level of life experience and reference experiences to get to the core of what your heart wants. The heart is kind of selfish. We already talked about this in previous videos. Your deepest desires are actually very selfish. Until you're happy and fulfilled, you're not going to be able to tap in as much to a selfless desire. So in order to actually tap into a selfless desire, first you have to feel complete within yourself. So a pendulum will convince you need to be good. You need to do things for other people. You need to go help other people. Maybe take the person who wants to be a doctor. They're like, yeah, I want to be a doctor because I want to help people. But really, you just want to be happy, man. You're not happy. You can't really want to help people. You're not happy. So the heart wants to be happy first. That's what the heart wants. That's a pretty good video. So like, man, if you want to learn reality transurfing, go back. If you haven't taken notes, take notes on those exercises. That's just fire. You got to remember this. You got to have that down. You got to know, okay? Time to do this exercise. Think about, okay, if this doesn't happen, do I feel a sense of relief? You got to do these exercises, man. So if you want to learn about reality transurfing, read the book, great book. Otherwise, go watch this whole YouTube series on the topic. If you just found this video, you got to watch the ones before it for it to make total sense. And yeah, we're really getting into the part where this is going to start to click. Everything comes together. Peace.